Well, welcome to another edition of North Yorkshire Rugby Club News. We hope you had a good Christmas. There's Dave here and he's obviously recovered from his Christmas.
Just to say, yes.
Did you have a good one, Dave?
I did have a good one, yes. It was really nice. He was quiet.
Yeah.
But, we indulged in the amber nectar once or twice.
Right. Well, only once or twice, right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And she cooked a good meal, did she?
Oh, she did.
Right.
Yes.
You got to say that in case she watches this.
Yeah, well.
Yeah. We were lazy. We went out.
All right.
Right. So no games last week. Well, not league games anyway. So we'll just bat on now and look at this weekend's fixtures. Regional 1 North East. Sandal versus Ilkley. York versus Huddersfield. Selby versus Driffield. Have you any thoughts on them, looking at the league positions?
I was just looking at the leagues. I think Sandal will beat Ilkley. Obviously they're high up in the league.
Yeah.
And I think York will do for Huddersfield as well.
Yeah.
And the last game, it could go either way. It could go either way.
Yeah.
It would be hard to tell. Depends how much turkey
yeah,
people have had.
I'll start with the last one first. Driffield took hell of a hammering against Scunthorpe the other week.
Yeah. They might bounce back.
Yeah, it must have come as a shock to Driffield that they're going about teams not getting off the bus. I think Scunthorpe got off the bus running and Driffield turned up in the cars.
Yeah,
walking,
exactly. Spluttering.
Yeah. York versus Huddersfield. I thought Huddersfield would have been top of the league this season, coming down like they did. It was a tough old game at Huddersfield.
I think you can safely say that Huddersfield were the side what had some good players, and they've got through the top of the league in their particular league, got up to the higher standard. Possibly had a rough season, and now they're starting to sort of drift away.
Yeah. And the Ilkley Sandal game. Yeah, I'll take Sandal on that one. Yeah. Regional 2 North East. Scarborough versus Morley. Doncaster Phoenix versus Malton and Norton. Well, after the local derby last week, Scarborough, Malton and Norton, it's Scarborough at home against Morley, and I'm going to go with Scarborough.
I would say Scarborough home win.
Yeah. Doncaster Phoenix, Malton and Norton.
I'm going to go for Malton and Norton on that one.
Right.
I know it's a difficult one because there's not much in it, but
I'm going to go for Doncaster. I'm sorry, Malton and Norton, but I'm going to go for Doncaster. So that's that. Counties 1 Yorkshire. Hullensians versus Wensleydale. North Ribblesdale versus Pocklington. West Leeds versus Harrogate Pythons. What are your thoughts on any of those then, Dave?
Well, look at them all, and really speaking, the teams what are at home, especially North Rib, it's a banker, must be.
Right.
You would relinquish the thought of actually going to North Ribblesdale at the moment, the way they're playing.
Yeah.
And like I said, the other two teams, they're both really strong at home, so I would go for Hullensians and West Leeds.
Right. Well, I'd agree with you on North Ribblesdale and West Leeds, but Wensleydale have picked up from the beginning of the season, so I'm going to stick my neck out and say a win there for Wensleydale.
It's always one of these things at Wensleydale. The fact is, can they get the same team out week in and week out?
Yeah.
Because it's a rural sort of club.
Yeah.
And they do have a lot of good players there, but can they get them all together at the same time?
Counties 2 Yorkshire.
Northallerton versus Bramley Phoenix. Yarnbury versus Ripon.
Any thoughts there?
Well, if I was a turncoat, I think I would be going for Bramley Phoenix, but I'm going to go for an Athallerton win there. I think we showed just before we had this little break that we were starting to come together again as a club, as a team.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think, you know, with this bit of fortnight sort of rest and stuff like that, we could come back really strong.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go for a home win at Northallerton, and I'm going to go for Ripon beating Yarnbury.
Yeah, well, I'll agree with you, the Yarnbury Ripon thing, although Yarnbury are on the AstroTurf, so I'll Ripon. But
might make a difference.
Yeah, but I'm going to go with Ripon.
Yeah.
And sorry, Dave, but I'm going to go with Bramley Phoenix with the Northallerton one.
Right, fair enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
Counties 3 Yorkshire. Rotherham Phoenix versus Thirsk. Skipton versus Wheatley Hills.
Over to you, Dave.
Difficult to sort of suss out these two games. I mean, Rotherham against Thirsk, that could go either way. They both got a resurgence over the last 2 or 3 weeks just before the break, and I think, you know, Thirsk might come good that day. So I'm going to go for a Thirsk win, and also Skipton against Wheatley Hills. I'm going to have to go for a Skipton banker.
Right. Well, I'm going to disagree with you on everything. Again, yes. I'm going to take Rotherham Phoenix against Thirsk, and I'm going to go with Wheatley Hills.
Right.
Sorry there, Dave.
That's all right. No problem.
Yeah, end of year, we don't want to be falling out, so there we are. Right.
Counties 4 Yorkshire. Hornsey versus Nestle Rowntrees. Knaresborough versus Aireborough. Richmondshire versus Leeds Medics and Dentists. York Railway Institute versus Leeds Medonians.
Yeah. I'll give you first to go again, Dave.
Well, the top one is a clash of the top two teams in the league, which is it's going to be a tight call. I'd probably go for a home win because I think a lot of teams play well when they're playing at home, so it doesn't make it. You know, Knaresborough against Aireboroughians. Aireborough are down at the bottom, so I'm going to go for a Knaresborough win there. Even though Knaresborough, they're virtually both not far off the bottom of the league. You know, they are.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would go for a Knaresborough home win again. Richmond versus Leeds Medics. As it was said, you don't know which Leeds Medics side you're going to get.
If one at all, they might still be away on holiday.
Yeah, so Richmond would probably take that one. And York RI against Leeds Medonians. That's another clash. Could go either way, but I'll go for York RI. Bankers.
Right.
Home bankers.
Right. I agree with some of you on it, but depending on Nestle Roundtree travel, if they get out early and get themselves going, I'm going to go for Nestle Roundtree. They've played well all season. I know it's a long trip to Hornsey. You know, I remember the first time I went there, I thought
going to the end of the world, didn't you?
End of the world, yeah. Well, isn't there a place down there called World's End? Can't remember.
Yeah, it's just on the outskirts of Hornsey.
Yeah, Knaresborough versus Aireborough. I'm going to take Knaresborough. Richmondshire versus Leeds Medics. I think it could be a home walkover because I don't know whether the students are back. I know the students I know aren't back till end of January nearly. York RI, I'm going to take York RI on that one. So that's our guesses, forecasts, whatever you want to call them, for this Saturday coming. So,
expert guesses.
Well,
can we say that?
We can say it, but whether it's true or not, I don't know.
We could maybe just wipe out the experts. But
so I think what we'll do next is just have a look at the league tables for the end of the year and see who's impressed us and who we're surprised with. Okay, so we're going to start with Regional 1 North East. Scunthorpe are top. Now, last year Scunthorpe were struggling at the bottom of the league.
Mm.
You know, they could have gone down at one stage. So it's a surprise to see them up there. I know they've got one or two new players in, but yeah.
Well, they're holding out at the top of the league. Holding off York at the moment.
Well,
so.
if you look, York are second.
Yes.
They've won the same number of games, right?
Yes.
And they've both lost 2, and yet the points difference is 56 to 51, and that's bonus points.
Mm.
Scunthorpe at the start of the season were scoring some massive
results.
So they were getting 5 points at every game.
Yeah.
You know, whereas York were probably getting a winning. You know, they weren't picking any bonus points up.
Yeah.
And looking down the table there.
Is that the way York were playing at the time? A bit of a.
They just
I just sort of getting a team together.
No,
from last season.
They had the same team there. You know, they just couldn't get that 4th try. They were winning.
Yeah.
But at Bladen they were lucky to win, but there was no bonus point for tries. You know,
no.
And they happened 2 or 3 times.
Yes.
And coming down, I thought Huddersfield would have been higher. They're on 3rd on 42 points, but they have played a game less. Selby, who got promoted from North East 2
last season. Virtually unbeatable last season, weren't they, Selby?
Yeah, they went very well. But they struggled this season, and I know the rumour is that they've got some extra players coming in after Christmas, so we'll have to see how that goes.
What do these extra players? Where have they been? You know, what have they been doing? Or
they've probably been living in Tonga,
or
New Zealand, or Australia,
like playing rugby over there,
South Africa.
Yeah.
No, they were probably born over there.
Ah, right. So we're getting an influx of.
Oh yeah. So things like that. So right, we'll now go.
So what do you think then about Scunthorpe and York? Is it going to be just between the two of them, or because I mean, yeah.
Well, this weekend.
Huddersfield are not far away, are they?
Yeah, well, York play Huddersfield this weekend.
Yes.
So if York win, that'll make a big gap then, right? And Scunthorpe, I think, have to play Huddersfield and Heath away.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
So
Heath were a very good side last
season. They had a
very good season.
Last season.
And that's why they went up.
Yeah.
And I just think, well, they're just finding it maybe a little bit harder.
They didn't go up. They lost out to Harrogate, didn't they?
So they're just finding it a little bit harder to sort of keep that.
Well, I think
impetus up.
I mean, they're playing well now, but they got a dodgy start to the season. You know, whether they have players missing or not, I don't know. So, right, we'll have a look at something else. Regional 2, North East. Top of that league is Bradford Salem. Coming down to our teams, Scarborough, who were again down at the wrong end of the season for most of last season, have come back in a 3rd and playing very well. Although they did get beat by the local rivals Malton and Norton the other week. And talking of Malton and Norton, they're down at 9th, so they're not having as good a season as they had last season.
It's hard to tell why. You know, the players. I don't know whether it's just a thing about rugby players nowadays that seem to want to play one season and then give it a miss for a couple.
Yeah. And looking further down, Doncaster Phoenix were Regional 1 North East last season, and they're down the bottom end, well, the second from bottom in Regional 2 North East. And Gulu came up, they're struggling. I don't think they can win. Well, they've won one game, so it looks like they might go back down again.
It's a struggle for a lot of sides what have moved around since last season, and you hope that things will pick up.
Not in our area, or just out of it by a couple of miles. Wetherby must be happy with their 7th place.
They can sustain it this season, and then they could go on to better things.
7 out of 13, so they're going well. They must be pleased with that. Very pleased.
Yeah.
So
considering the catchment area of the Wetherby sort of area, so they are doing well.
For over the years, they've had a good Colts setup, haven't they, at Wetherby? So it's going well. So now we'll have a look at Yorkshire 1. Right, here we are. Yorkshire 1. Top. Yeah. North Ribblesdale promoted last season and haven't stopped winning this season.
Yeah.
Won everything. So
obviously you must have a good bunch of lads together there.
They've all come up through the Colts.
Yes.
Another team with a good Colts setup, and they're playing really well. And then who else have we got in there? Harrogate Pythons started really well, first 3 or 4 games, but I think they've just tapered off for some reason. I don't know what the reason is.
Yeah.
And
Wensleydale are another side which are mid-table.
7th there, another one who had a bad start to the season, but last 5 or 6 games they've sorted themselves out and got going again.
And then you've got
a difficult place to go is Wensleydale if you want to play. So
it's a difficult place to find is Wensleydale.
And the other one, the shock one in there for me, Bridlington.
Yes.
A few years ago, good team. High ups in more senior leagues, now find themselves bottom. And although it's tight,
I think that, it is a bit tight down there. But
10th and Old Wishworthians on 15, the Odensians are on 12, and Bridlington are on 12 as well. So
they might just squeeze off the bottom.
Then it's a big jump from Old Odensians to West Leeds, 15 points to 21.
Yeah.
So Bridlington have a bit to do.
Yeah, it's a bit of hard work to get on with, and hopefully they'll pull their way through from the bottom.
Yeah. So now we have counties 2 Yorkshire. So Dinnington are atop. Of course, they came down, and they're going well. Another team that haven't lost a game all season. They're on 60 points. And Yarnbury, who are second, are on 56 points. Coming down to 11th is your team, Dave, Northallerton. From winning everything last season,
we're struggling.
We've not won this season.
There's a lot of players haven't turned out this season for Northallerton. It's a shame, but you just got to sort of grin and bear it and get on with it.
Do you think they're a team that all got all together and there's been nothing coming up?
I don't. I looked at it last year. All I can see now is all players in the team.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking now, where's all the young players gone?
Yeah.
I mean, I look at Thurska, which is our local rivals. I look at Wensleydale, which aren't far away from us, and stuff like that. And the way they supply youngsters coming through is a different setup to what Northallerton have got. Well, we're expecting people to come down there to play instead of trying to go and
I mean, over the years, Northallerton haven't had Colts, have they? Up prior to about 19...
No,
2016-17, I don't think there was a properly run Colts setup.
No.
They've just relied on players coming in.
That's right. Starting at 17 or whatever age it is. And so on. But I looked at this. I mean, when we were setting up as Colts in Northallerton when I started playing many moons ago, the fixtures what we could get were limited around the area.
Yeah.
You know, we
because
picked up
Northallerton was the only club around here. There's no Thirsk, There's no Richmond.
No.
So your nearest club would be Ripon, Wensleydale, and Middlesbrough.
We never had fixtures. You couldn't.
They
didn't have a Colt side either.
Yeah.
But now it's you know, you're running Colt sides from the age of maybe 6, maybe 7.
Yeah.
And you're getting them games if you can get them games.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing. Unless other teams actually come up with the idea of getting youngsters involved from an early age and bringing them through.
Yeah.
Then the game is just going to fall away, I think.
I think the only thing that we can congratulate Northallerton on this year's is the ladies.
Don't say the ladies. Don't say the ladies. The ladies are doing fantastically well.
The top of the league, I noticed. Yes, I was just going through them yesterday.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and they're winning some big shots. The first game they lost was the first game of the season against Yarm ladies, I think.
I think what it is about the ladies is that they are. There's a lot of ladies playing the game of rugby, and they're enjoying it a great deal.
Yeah.
Where some of our guys getting beat every week and stuff like that, it's
Muscat
just getting weighing heavily on them.
Yeah.
But the ladies are exceptional.
Yeah, and the other one with us is Ripon, who are third in the league. Played 13, won 8 on 45 points. So yeah, Ripon have got a good setup. Can't argue with that.
Yeah, I think they'll be pushing it for the top of the league at the end of the season. I think.
Right. So now we'll go on to Counties 3 Yorkshire.
Ah, yes.
So Counties 3 Yorkshire, we have 2 teams in that league, Skipton and Thirsk. But just looking at the top, Old Otley-Ensians came up from down below. And they're up at the top, so they've got themselves reorganised and going well.
They are doing well, aren't they? Yes. Yeah.
So coming down to 9th, we've got Skipton. That's roughly where Skipton were last season. So I don't think they've improved, and I don't think they've got any worse. So
as long as they're staying in the same league, I would imagine they're getting a game of rugby every week. They're quite happy. I'm sure they're quite happy.
Yeah.
Where we've got Thirsk down at the bottom of the league, they're struggling. They're struggling quite a bit.
They were up about 6th or 7th last season, so they've gone down. I don't know the full reason why, whether they've lost players.
Well, it's hard to tell on that, but I mean, you know, only Thirsk will come and tell you that they have a nice little setup where they are.
Yeah.
And it you know, it's well looked after and stuff like that. It's just like I was saying before, it's just getting players down.
They're on the racecourse, aren't they?
They're just on the racecourse, yeah. So you can watch a bit of racing as well if you watch.
There's a new sports village in Thirsk. I'm sure I heard they were going down there, but it seems to be all football down there now. So. They must have decided to stay.
The hockey team, what used to play at Thirsk, used to play on the racecourse as well.
Right.
So it's been jointly run by certain aspects of sport.
Right.
It's just one of them things. But the Thirsk hockey team don't play at Thirsk anymore.
Right.
They play somewhere else. I'm not quite sure where they play.
Right.
It could be even in the Thallerton for all I know. But if you know what I mean, it's just venues which have just changed.
Yeah. So it looks like we'll still have one team in that league, but if Thirsk get the finger out, we'll still have 2. So now we go on to counties for Yorkshire North. Well, Yorkshire for North, top there is Nestle Roundtrees, who've won every game on 55 points, and Hornsey, a second, having won 11 on 54 points. And coming down to us, we've got York RI who are third, Knaresborough fourth, and Richmondshire 7th. So what do you make of that league then, Dave?
Well, I mean, it looks like it's all tied up at the top, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I think Hornsey have done well to get where they are.
Yeah.
The other sides have been hit and miss all season. Like we got Leeds Medics in there, I think. Leeds? Yeah, and you just think, well, they're a side what sometimes put a side out and then they just cry off. So it'd be interesting to see what all those teams down the bottom have been doing. Richmond are another side what are starting to pick up a bit now.
A lot of work going on at Richmond. They're just not getting the results. But every week I get a memo from the chairman telling me what's going on, what's happening in the clubhouse, different events they've got on. So they're turning 2 teams out now, which is good. Another team that started turning 2 teams out, Nestle Roundtree. So, you know, Yorkshire High were a bit lower than that last season, so they're going up, going well.
There's a lot of these sides in the lower divisions are turning 2 sides out because they're getting the players in. They're playing it at the level which they want to play.
I mean, Knaresborough, they must struggle with getting players because there are 2 more senior teams in Harrogate next door. So they do well.
But like you were saying before, it's the standard of rugby they want to play at. And if they can set good lads off at that, you know, at that standard, and then they can obviously move up, which is a good thing.
So that's us ripped it out of the league table then, Dave.
Yes, I think we've sorted it all out.
And I think all it takes for us is to wish everybody a happy new year. And keep on watching your rugby.
And a very successful new year for some teams.
So we'll see you. Sounds a long time ago, but we'll see you next year.
It does seem a long time ago, doesn't it?
2025. So, right. Okay then. All the best.
All the best.